Hello guys, welcome back to the crew. What you see here is a replay of a video I just made, but I forgot to put my mic on, so I started dubbing it. Here I'm trying to do a drift run with a keyboard, which is not that easy to do. Messing around a bit here in the beginning, but it's not that big of an issue because from this point on, this is where you get the higher scores. I got away there with a little nudge. It is tricky to keep the drift going, and I lose it here again, I think. Yep. But it's sort of from this point I think that you need to keep it going. If you can keep it going here, you get larger turns, bigger turns. Yeah, this is where I keep it going. As you can see, multiplier 17. I think it goes even up to around 40 when I lose it. But the higher you get the multiplier, the higher score you will get. I've done the best run I had so far is over 50,000 points, which is, well, out of my own experience, which is not that big because I'm only playing for a month in this game. But it's pretty decent for a keyboard player because there I lost it. As you see, I kept it straight just half a second too long and I lost the multiplier. I'm driving here with a Ford Focus drift spec with a about 795 score, so it's not 1299, and I keep it in third gear. And I play around with the throttle and occasionally tapping the brake. But even with the big matchups in this one, I still managed to get 45,000. Yesterday I did even better by getting about 50,000 or something. Top score is over 400,000 though, but those are control players. They can flick the car around from start to finish. So they get multipliers times 99, giving them immense scores. But I'm pretty happy with this score, with the 53,000, because it's good enough for 214th place. And here I'm showing that you can also, by doing these events, you get extreme points, and if the bar fills up, you get a free spec. In this case, DG stands for drag. And this Focus, for instance, I got for free because I earned it by doing these events. And yesterday I won a monster spec, and now I'm filling up the bar for a drag spec. So I'm sort of giving this. One Kenobi giving a score of 225,000. Also, he plays with a controller, I believe. But as you can see, the first place is 444,000. Gotta be a wheel or a controller because they flick the car around. I've seen videos about it. They flick the car around from start to finish, which you just cannot do with a keyboard. It's impossible. You can't keep a drift going that long. Now I'm gonna do a second run where I lose the multiplier way more, resulting in a pretty bad score, being I don't know, 16,000, 18,000 in the end. So it starts well, times 6, and I lose it there, so it restarts counting. I keep on driving here because from this point on, from this corner, that's where you can start getting some good scores with a keyboard. I have it at times 4, 5, 6, something like that, and then I lose it somewhere. Because this corner here, well, it doesn't match with my driving line at certain points, so you lose it. You have to anticipate on the corner. And there I lose it again. Times 15, 16 something I was. And this is on the bridge section, is where you have to score the big points. So you have to come in drifting on that bridge and keep it going. That's where I get it at times 40 in the first run. But here I'm times 4 or 5. I lose it again, I think. No, it keeps counting for now. Here I lose it. 2 straight for half a second, 2 straight, and you lose multiplier. So it restarts, and then you cannot just... But you have the wide turns here at the end of the run. So it's best to come up here and not drive like I'm doing now, but sort of keep it going here in these times 16, and I hit that pole, the fence pole, and yeah, starts again. Times 1, times 2, that's all good, but those are low scores. So you get some score, but the key factor here is the multiplier. You need to get it as high as possible to get a high score. As you can see, it's not finished yet. I get a few more points, but 18,000 something. Compared to the first run where I hit 45,000. Where I had the multiplier times 40 and now only maximum times 16 a few times, I think. And then I lost it every time. As you can see, this car is not full spec, so I'm still getting parts for it. And that might be just a trick to do it in, because you have to keep it in third gear in this case with the focus. That seems to work. Before one of my first runs, I got a Ford GT from the game because I didn't have a Ford drift car, and well, that's big, wide, powerful car. But all in that, here I'm probably was telling about the fact that I'm only playing for a month, so this is my first Summit qualifier. I started with silver medal in the first two, 2000 something, then to gold, platinum, and the last one 34th. And in this one, at this moment, I'm 34th again. And the game suggests recommended event full drive challenge. That's what I'm gonna talk about now. First of all, well, here I'm talking about the fact that I have platinum in all of these that I'm pointing out. Even with the drift, 53,000 is good enough for platinum. So I seem to have an issue in drag. Although I have my car at 12.99 now, I can't seem to get it under 13.4, 13.3 or something, while the top times have a time of 12 seconds. That's the difference between first and 900. The speed trap I did by myself with a score of 239, I think. The brand Monster Arena, about 50,000 points I scored there, which is good enough for 45. Brand Time Attack. It's an A to B race where you sort of have to, well, find your own route and do it as fast as possible. You get a Ford Shelby GT if you have that, otherwise you cannot participate in the brand time. And I managed to get a set time of 140 by myself, not with a crew. One Kenobi has 137, that's sort of my reference. He's one of the better players. Often shows up in the top 5 in these Summit qualifiers, so I go by his score. Scramble test I had a world record, but it got improved by the Russian guy, who's also in the top 5 all the time. But nevertheless, all these things are good for platinum. I only have gold in the drag and in the stunts. And then there is the free drive challenge, which is something I don't get. The March path brought the possibility to do it by yourself. So you have to create a path and then just drive over your path till the finish. Now, as you can see, I have a 30,000. I just did a small route which brings me 30. You get $1,000 for every 5 kilometers you drive, and you have to set a start line and 9 checkpoints. So if you put them as far as possible from each other, you can get about $20,000 for one checkpoint to another. So times 9, it's about 200,000 you can get. Although the top score here, which is something I do not get, is as over 1 million. I have no clue how you do it. As I will show you here, I'm gonna put I think I'm gonna put a start. Yeah, I'm going to the Key West in this video, and I'm gonna put the start line, because you have to put a start line first. Check. There you go. That's the first checkpoint, which is the start line. So you're not getting bugs there. Now you have to set your first checkpoint, and I'm going checking out a few things, but eventually I will go to Seattle, where the bugs meter will be at 20,000 something. So zoom in Seattle and put it there somewhere on the road. There you go. Distance 100 kilometers, or about 60 miles, and that's checkpoint number 1. You have to realize you have to drive that, so taking consideration, if you put a route like I'm going to put together now, you're running for 2-3 hours on a run to get some bucks, to get in the ranking. Checkpoint number 2, far away from Seattle as possible. You can also do Miami, Seattle, back and forth, up and down 9 times, which will give you about 200,000 bucks. What I'm doing here is I'm going left to right on the map, and I put some checkpoints here and there. Eventually I will end up with a route of 875 kilometers, which will give me about 185,000 bucks, I believe, if I would drive it. But I don't have the intention to drive it yet. I might do it on the actual summit to see how high I can actually end or finish in the rankings. But it all depends on what the other tests will be. This is number 9, I have one more to go. And I think I put finish somewhere. Oh, there are 2 more to go. Norfolk. There I put number 9, and then I go, no idea where I put the finish. Right, somewhere between Los Angeles and San Francisco, Santa Barbara, there somewhere. There you go. 175,000 bucks is the run, 875 kilometers. And it is on B roads often that I said it now. You can do a highway run using a circuit car, so that you can at least go around 400 kilometers an hour, because otherwise it's gonna take you a very, very long time. It's as simple as that. So how on earth do people get 1 million from this? I have no idea. Even if you go all the way from Key West to Seattle, up and down, you get 200, 220 something, I think. That's the maximum you can get. So I have no idea how people get 1 million. Maybe it is possible if you do this in a crew, let's say with 4 people, and that the winner gets it all. In other words, 175,000 in this case times 4, which will give 700,000. I think that will be the case. Or otherwise, I don't know. People are using planes if that's possible. I have no clue. But it has something to do with that, because normally the top scores are around 500,000, which is also impossible if you just set 10 checkpoints. So my guess is you multiply the bucks amount if you do this with friends. But then again, who is gonna drive along with you for 2 hours and a half and then eventually lose the race so that you can get a high score here? Or maybe they do it, let's say with 4 friends, they start, 3 people leave the event, the other guy can win it, doing the run for 2.5 hours. 3-4 hours later they come back, they start again, and they let someone else finish, and so on, so that they each have a very high score with a win. I will probably improve on this one, trying to get the top 25 spot for this summit qualifiers. As you can see in the left bottom, there are about 4 hours and a half to go, a bit more, and then this summit will stop. Um, well, normally it's around midnight for me, but we changed to summertime or daylight saving time yesterday here in Europe. So it will be probably at 1 a.m. for me now. But doesn't matter, I always play during the night, so. And then the summit qualifier will stop, and 2 hours later the actual summit will start for March 2016. So that will be the next video that I will be doing, where I will first of all have a look around on what the new summit is all about, what are the events that we have to do, which car do we need to use, stuff like that, like I always do in the latest videos. First a look around and then some specific videos about each of these events, trying to get a decent score, or sometimes I even, if I recorded it, I show the best run that I did so far. Although occasionally you improve after all. I think for this qualifier, I did a video on the brand time attack where I did 144 or something, and eventually I found an even quicker route doing 140. But you get the idea here. So those two, the free drive stuff, I have to do with about 4 hours to go. Maybe I'm going to trying to improve there, but I'm good enough. I mean, there are 4 hours to go. I'm in 34th overall, so I'm guaranteed a platinum medal. It doesn't matter that much, at least not for me. I'm never gonna get top 5 because of the drift issue. I lose a lot of points there compared to the top players, and I still don't know what I'm actually worth, although people keep telling me you have to play normal PvP lobbies, you will be platinum in no time. Because apparently, yeah, you come with a ranking. I've done a few normal, but not many, and I am a bronze 3 player. For those who don't know, you start with sort of a ranking: bronze 4, bronze 3, bronze 2, bronze 1, and then the same for silver, gold, and eventually platinum 4, platinum 3, platinum 2, and platinum 1. So the top drivers, or the better drivers in this game, they all are platinum 1. So maybe that will be my next challenge, to get platinum, but... And that will stop the video, as you see. So I will stop my video here now as well, where I sort of dubbed my own video because I forgot to put the mic on in the first one. So I will see you guys in the next one, which will be a look around in the new March summit, and then later on some specific videos for that event. I'll see you guys there, and bye for now.